It says, the United States of America King Alfred Plan, the extermination of blacks in America. And you'll look up, they'll say, oh, this was just a hypothetical thing. Come on, man. Then why is it playing out today? If it was so hypothetical, why is it playing out? This devil has it planned, okay? And it says, let me try to load it. Salakia, Satan fucking with the computer, man. I've had to restart it. It's been slow, but it's gonna come out, man. I'm gonna push it regardless. And it says, the United States of America King Alfred Plan, extermination of blacks in America. Code name Rex 84. It says that there are over 600 prison camps in the United States, all fully operational, ready to receive prisoners. They are all staffed and even surrounded by full-time guards, but they are all empty. These camps are to be operated by FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, should martial law need to be implemented in the United States. The current foreseeable event, which will see the implementation let me go up here. Implementation of the use of these camps is the coming of the New World. It says implement foreseeable events which will see the implementation of these camps in the coming New World Order led by shadow government. It says King Alfred Plan was a fictional CIA-led scheme supporting an international effort to eliminate people of African descent. Specifically, it defined how to deal with the threat of a black uprising in the United States by coordinating off black people into concentration camps. In the event of a major racial incident. What do you have now? All these racial incidents. You have a hashtag Black Lives Matter. It says a plan first appeared in John A. Williams' 1967 novel, A Man Who Cried I Am, a fictional account of the life and death of Richard Wright. In the afterworld to later editions, William compares the King Alfred Plan to an intelligent program conceived by J. Edgar Hoover in the 1960s to monitor the movement of black militants. It also bears similarities to rumors in the early 1950s surrounding the McCarran Act, an anti-communist law. It says, when his novel was first published, William photocopied portions of the book detailing the King Alfred Plan and left copies in subway car seats around Manhattan. As a result, word of the King Alfred Plan spread through the black community, and the truth of its existence was often assumed to be unchallenged. Performers and musician Gilly Scott Heron created the song King Alfred Plan, including in his 1972 album Free Willy, that takes the plan at face value. James Jones headed the apocalyptic socialist People's Temple, discussed the plan at length in numerous recordings in his rant-style speeches both in the U.S. and in Jonestown community in Guyana, treating it as a completely genuine. And let's go down here. It says an estimated 40 to 50% of white populations will not, for various reasons, engage the minorities during emergencies. American armed forces are spread around the world. A breakout of war abroad means few troops at home to handle the emergencies. Local law enforcement officials must contain the emergencies until help arrives. You see, though it may mean fighting a superior force. New York City, for example, has 25,000 man police, but there are about 1 million minority members in the city. We are confident that the minorities will hold the city. It took for only a few hours. The lack of weapons, facility, and logistics all put the minorities at a final disadvantage. Since the Korean War, this department has shifted minority members of the armed forces to areas where combat is most likely to occur, with the aim of eliminating through combat as many combat-trained military servicemen, just like this guy, as you see here. They said that dude was an ex-military. Okay, so you got to listen to these key points. It says to eliminated through combat many combat-trained military. Today the ratio of minority members combat deaths in Vietnam. Let me go up. Through combat as many combat-trained military servicemen as possible. Today the ratio of minority members combat deaths in Vietnam, where they are serving as advisors, is twice as high as the minority population ratio to the rest of America. Below is the timetable of King Alfred as tentatively suggested by the JCS, who recommendation that the operation be made over a prior of 8 hours. Local police, minority leaders, head of emergency, countdown 8 hours. Let me keep going down, because there's something I needed to get. Right here. It says the promise of the petition has already contributed to a temporary slowdown minority activities. However, we do not expect the slowdown to be of long duration, because there are always new dissident elements joining these organizations, which new potential power to replace the older leaders. All organizations and their leaders are under constant 24-hour surveillance. See, they're constantly watching us. Let me get this script real quick. This is the book of Galatians, because we are the brothers in California got a text message about spies, man. And this is the book of Galatians 2 and 4. This is Galatians 2 and 4, and it says, and because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty, which we have in Yahushua Mashiach, that they might bring us into bondage. See, what's bond? Those concentration camps, man. It says by first the black Muslims, the student nonviolent coordinating community, Congress of Racial Equality, Uru Movement, Group of Advanced Leadership, Freedom Now Party, United Black Nationalists of America, New Pan-African Movement, that Black Conscience Madness, Southern Christian Leader Conference, the National Urban League, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and they already control these places, man. Committee on Racial and Religious Progress, man. Okay, so I'm gonna get these quick scriptures and I'm gonna end out. It's the book of Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 7, and it says, alas, but that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass that in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bounds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So the Most High is saying, look, we're coming to the time of Jacob's trouble. We're coming to the time of great happenings, man. So that's why we got to keep faith, and because the Most High told us of these things. Because this devil's getting scared. He's out of power. It's time to go. Just like when Esau cried for his blessing, just like when Cain killed Abel, this is the same man coming back, and he's not changed. And this is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 19. And it says, and I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall be fed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found. For I will pardon them whom I reserve, and that's the elect, man. So you brothers keep faith out there, man, and just keep watching, because it's finna get hot. So all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Shalom.